The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What's up, Octo Nation? It's Charlie. I'm going to be your host for today. The title for today's video is The Great Uncertainty. The real Kiyosaki. You heard of this guy, Kiyosaki? Does that ring a bell to anybody? He's the one who wrote all the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books back in, I don't know what, 10, 20 years ago, 15 years ago now. If you haven't read some of his books, they're pretty good. He's good on macro thinking, kind of switching your brain around to think correctly about money. He quoted today saying, "Armageddon in 2 weeks? Question mark. If Republicans and Democrats do not agree on the next $600 stimulus, the economy may collapse by August Friday the 13th. Gold at all-time highs. Bitcoin over $10,000 per coin, and silver still 50% low off its all-time lows. I am buying more silver coins today. What are you doing? Exciting. Take care." So it kind of sounds kind of doomy and gloomy, but you know, it is what it is. I think that's what's going on right now. You've got a ton of uncertainty in the market. You can kind of see it everywhere. You know, good, amazing news will come out and stocks just still kind of sit. You're like, how come you're not skying the moon right now? You know, SPACs in general. I mean, we actually had some good openings this morning. So if you wanted to take some profits right off the bat, you could have done it, but there was no follow through, right? There was just, you know, shots in and they were out. All right. So take a look at a couple new filings that happened today. First one off the bat is Michael Klein's SPAC Churchill Capital Corp. the fourth. Y'all heard of Churchill? Y'all made any money from them yet? Let me know down in the comments. Increases the proposed unit offered ahead of 1.5 billion IPO. Okay. The fourth blank check company founded by dealmaker from City Executive Michael Klein increased the proposed unit offering for its upcoming IPO on Monday. In its filing, the company also added Mr. Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan to the underwriters. So where was this before? I believe it was sitting at, I believe it was sitting at 1 billion, and now it has increased to 1.5 billion, okay? So that means Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan came in and said, we want a piece of this. So together, collectively, they came up with another $500 million. So that's fantastic. I will leave this down for y'all to take a look at if you want to read more on that. Let's take a look at another one that launched today, which I thought is interesting and something that I might put out a video on itself over. I can find something, but is ESG SPAC Northern Genesis acquisition files for a 300 million IPO. Ticker is going to be NGA.U because it's going to start with the units. NGA.U. Northern Genesis acquisition, a blank check company targeting an environmentally sustainable business. Filed on Monday with the SEC to raise up to $300 million in initial public offering. Kansas City, Missouri-based company plans to raise $300 million. Each unit consists of one common share and one half warrant. We like that. You know, anything close to half is a lot better than a ninth or a quarter, right? Exercise striked at $11.50. At the proposed price, Northern Genesis would command a market value of $375 million. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Another head by Renaissance Capital. These guys are just whooping it one after the other. So we just had a big release with the CCXX with the insurance company. It's one of those ones I was talking about earlier. You know, I think that's actually a great play that came out. And what happened in stock? It might even went down a little bit. You know, I think that's one, though, again, you know, once the normal stock players get a hold of it and find out about it, they're going to be like, dude, are you kidding me? Look at the numbers. It's a numbers game. Tons of money. It's a middleman company for insurance. I mean, insurance is a great place to be. Easy money. So anyways, take a look at what else we got going on today. The news, Es Importante. Oh, we got to look at FUSE.U. Okay, remember that video I did on FUSE.U? Let's take a look at an article. It was actually an interview that came out today by ETF.com. Here is Jim Ross. He is the chairman. He's the guy If you haven't seen that video, go watch it. But he's the one who helped bring in the ETF of the S&P 500. Y'all might have heard of that. Huh? Anybody? Okay. And I speculated on there, like, I think the coolest thing ever is if you were to come out with the new ETF. I was just like dreaming about it. But what he came in and said is he got asked, what kind of companies are you focused on, Ross? He says, fintech and wealth, technologies companies. Some of the back office stuff for some of the RIA platforms and things like that. And then asset management. I think everyone's assuming it's going to be asset management. And I'm going to do something that has an ETF thing. That's probably the furthest from the truth. Okay. So this is going to be definitely a fintech wealth technology company. So it could be one of these micro, cool kid apps that are out, the Sophie type of genre where you can do all things encompassed in an app where you can buy crypto, you can buy stocks, you can send money to your friends or your grandma or, one of those. That'd be cool. All those have a potential to hype too, and they're all kind of middleman money movers. I like those companies. So I am going to leave this down in the article too if you want to read more. This is one of those guys that he just thinks differently, so his perspectives are really neat to listen to because he just thinks of things completely different than most do. So I think it's worth a read on here. I'm not going to read through all of it. There's a lot of good information though to keep reading on. And up next, let's take a look at some charts. Got some kind of interesting stuff going on. Basically, the good news is, first of all, QQQ, the tech boys, okay, we bounced right off where we were thinking, right off this trend line, and it is going north, okay? We are still surfing that wave, bro, okay? And it doesn't look bad whatsoever. We're heading back up the trend, so we're probably going to see some more green days for QQQ along with everything else, because that's pretty much what's holding up for the most part the stock market. Let's take a look at SPY. Same thing. It bounced right off and it's going north. Pretty much same channel ride. Okay. Silver. This thing has been absolutely parabolic. Okay. I think it is kind of in dangerous territory right now. We were riding this channel above. What was this? I think it was about $15 to $17 an ounce for quite a long time, and now this thing has just absolutely gone parabolic up to $25 today. Okay, we actually had a decent consolidation a couple days ago. We're just riding, and that's definitely healthy. But it just, again, up today, I think it hit like 7% up, which is a lot for silver. It is. Again, to catch up with gold, it's got, just like Kiyosaki was saying, it's got at least 2x to go, to get up to $50. But something to watch, but again, something that's kind of scary. This is the one of the thing that goes up along with gold when people get kind of scared. Okay, when they don't really have faith in the overall economy or the U.S. dollar, silver likes to go up, and as long as that uncertainty is there, it's probably going to keep going up. Gold, we are at all-time highs. Never been higher than this. Smashed through all-time high. Okay, absolutely just bonkered right on top of it. What does that look like? It's like a straight bull market. There's nothing that is saying it's not. Again, this could use a definite consolidation day to look a little bit more healthy, because right now it's kind of dangerous. It could smack back into this channel, but right now you cannot deny this is absolute bull market. Okay. Let's take a look at the dollar. So this is something that is kind of scary going on, okay? So this line below, down here, this is the dollar. This is continuing to tank, okay? Why is this looking scary though? Because what we have up here is the TLT, which is kind of like the bond market. This is a lot of what the Fed, they're printing, they're quote unquote printing money. A lot of their money they're putting into this, okay? And the banks are basically selling them these, and the banks end up making money on these because they're the middleman for money. That's where the money's at. And what's going on here? These usually coincide together, okay? So the dollar and the TLT bonds usually surf together at about the same channel. What happens is when they get doing like this, when they're splitting like they are here, people call this kind of like a Jaws, like a shark is going to come, and bite you. And what happens? Eventually, it closes. Okay, so eventually one of these is going to go up or down or both. Okay, so eventually the dollar is going to have to catch up to this, or vice versa. Now the Fed is going to continue, and they've already slated they're going to continue buying these until 2022. So that means TLT is still going to be going up, okay? And again, eventually this dollar is going to come back up and close that gap. So one thing that people don't realize is in like the macro world of dollars right now, all the major countries have been printing heavier and larger than the US for a long time. Europe, Australia, China, okay? They've been printing to the moon for quite a long time. So don't get it twisted and think that the dollar is the only one tanking right now or is in bad shape, okay? No matter what, the world common currency that is traded is the United States dollar. It is still the top dog, and it probably always will be, unless who knows what's going to happen. But for now, it is still the world currency, okay, that people want to trade into, even through what's called swap nations, okay? Swap nations are basically countries that can easily swap their dollars for American dollars, okay? Now, if these countries start evening out, okay, what's going to happen is this dollar is going to start coming back up. Okay? So once this dollar is finally admitted that it's going to be the world currency that is needed to be traded, it is going to go up and close this gap. So why am I getting at this? Because when that happens, gold and silver will go back down. So that's one of the reasons I haven't really been talking too much about gold and silver as much as I'd like to. It's because it's kind of in a sketchy mode right now, because eventually the dollar is going to start going back up, and when it does, these are going to go way back down really fast, okay? Especially looking at this nasty Jaws that's coming through, okay? This thing is going to gap back down and take some people out. When is that going to happen? I don't know. Okay. But that's why this is one of the reasons that I am mostly invested as far as portfolio in stocks, into SPACs. Because if you've seen my video of how to make money on the red days of SPACs, you'd understand that how I play it is I try to get into the commons or the units, mostly the commons, right when they're not cool, okay? When they're trading for like $10.20 or $10.50 when they're not cool, because that's close to their floor, okay? So even if the whole economy really does tank and the stock market does tank again, which it will, they're usually about fine because we've got that floor about $10.20, 30-ish cents, okay, including the interest that's on the SPACs. So what happens to gold when a bad thing happened to the stock market? Let's look back in March here. Yeah, we were surfing around doing great. We ended up dropping huge. Look how parabolic this thing dropped. Okay, just went massive. This was back in March. And here's another reason I haven't put anything out about the cryptos. Okay. And again, this is me being your friend and not trying to hype you on these, because you can make a ton of money on these. But look at this. What happened to crypto in March? It tanked. Okay, Bitcoin got down to like $4,500 per Bitcoin. Okay, it was all the way up to like over 10,000 a Bitcoin, which is where it's at now. So it got cut in half. That's nasty. Look at that gap down, all that. This happened in March. What happened to SPACs that were trading around 1050? Not much. They just kind of sat there. Okay? And even if no matter what goes on in the world, we're still probably going to be fine, okay? Because we've got that floor. And that's why I think SPACs are still the best investment right now, as long as you get in early, right? Speaking of Bitcoin, while I'm here, it has broke this massive channel we were talking about the other day. Not only did it break through it, but it smashed through it, okay? We went from $9,500 per Bitcoin all the way up to over, now we're at 11 here, okay? We also had a major trend line, looks like here, is now going to be red because we just smashed right through it. You know, right about there, right about 10,500. And it just smashed right above it, no problem. Other than that, you know, it can still go to about 1,400 before it has another line to watch. You know, and again, very well, this you could ride this for maybe a month or a week or a day or 3 months and probably make some decent money. But if I have a choice to invest in SPACs and invest in them early, it's just a way safer investment, you know? I mean, you know, at the end of the day, what are the chances of this thing going up? You know, let's just say it goes to 1,400. What are we sitting at then? It's a 30%. Oh, not even that. It's only another like 20% until it goes there. If we go to all-time highs again on Bitcoin, you know, you might see 60%. You can get 60% on SPACs. You can get more than 60%. So that's just kind of my theory on it. You know, I think it's still probably smart to have some in there, just like silver and gold. I think it's still smart, especially with silver, because silver's got way more to go to hit all-time highs. At least it has to 2x before it hits all-time highs, but gold is already over all-time highs. So I think if you're going to buy any of those, I think the smart one to get into would be silver. I think you should get some physical. Okay, you should get some physical silver, and then you should probably get some miners. Okay, like the Hycroft one we were talking about. I think that'd be a pretty darn good one to get in. There's a couple more I could list if you want. Do another video on it. There's another play you can do on silver where you can go to companies, like one is called One Gold. I think it's onegold.com. And you can buy, it's kind of like buying a stock of it, like an ETF of it, but it's an actual backed, like actually physically backed. So if you buy 100 ounces of silver there, or 1 ounce, or whatever you're gonna do, they actually have to have that in the background backed, okay? It just means it's a little bit more secure. I also like it because you can buy it in different jurisdictions and countries. So for instance, you could buy silver or gold through there, and you could have it sitting in a Canadian bank, okay, Canadian vault. So you never know what's going on with the world. You know, I like having diversification even in different countries. You know, I think it's smart because, you know, even within, it's like, I think I bought a bunch of silver there when it was like 15. I haven't even looked at it since then, but you know, on there, what you can do is you can take your money, like you could sell out. So say it's at 25 now, I could sell all that digitally. They can actually even just send you physical silver at that spot price, which is it's an okay thing. If you really look at the macro picture of that, it doesn't really do much because you can always take that and go take the money, turn it into, you know, currency to fiat and go down and buy it physically. But it is cool to know that you can pull out and actually get that delivered to you. Or what you can do is sell that and then have that wired to any bank you want, right? So you can have a bank account also in a different country, you know, the Caymans or wherever, and you can have that money from there then wired over there, you know. So you can kind of move jurisdictions, and you know, you can even have a business in a different country and move it to that account if you want. So just another avenue to kind of look at, but again, just be careful, okay? Because once those jaws start closing with the TLTs, okay, just watch that TLT. You can even put it on top, like I was doing the chart here. You know, you can actually add it on here by clicking the plus sign on TradingView here, and you can just add TLT. Take a look at it. Let me know what you think. It's pretty scary. Okay. All right, let's take a look at what we have next. Oh yeah, RobinHood Bros. I thought this was actually really interesting though. So this is the gold Spider Gold Trust, and this pink line, I believe, the pink line is the price of gold, and this teal green line are users on Robinhood. And it's almost directly following it, which I was kind of surprised that there's 33,000 people invested in gold on Robinhood. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize that most people on Robinhood kind of follow precious metals at all, but I think people are starting to jump in. Let's take a look at the silver. You can see the users actually in March. So when the price was tanking along with the rest of the economy, the rest of the economy too, but the rest of the stock market back in March, that's the pink. It went all the way down. But look what happened instantly. Robinhood users instantly jumped in, like before we even bottomed at all, and they were like throwing it in there, throwing it into silver. So interesting, something to watch. It's pretty parabolic. You got 24,000 invested into silver on Robinhood. So what do we got next here? Oh yeah, hey, I'm gonna do another giveaway. Okay, so from now on, as long as you're subscribed and you leave a comment, I'm going to pick a random comment from now until we hit 1,000 subscribers. Okay, and it's going to be a random video too. So once you do your comments, you're going to be automatically entered into the contest. So the more comments you make, the more videos you're on, the more highly of a chance you'll have to win it. What am I going to give away? Right now, I'm thinking some silver. I'm at least going to do another Flying Eagle, American Eagle silver coin. I'm going to try to do maybe something else. I haven't really decided yet, but I'm going to keep stair-stepping stuff up the more subscribers we get too. So I think it'd be kind of cool, once we get bigger and bigger, we start giving more and more away. I think it'd be pretty neat. I also want to tell you real quick that I also started a SwagWagon. Okay. Y'all can join or you can't. You don't have to. It's all up to you. But I started getting some swag made up. All right, some shirts. I actually ordered some. I'm actually really excited. I set this up on my site. You can just go to the site and hit merchandise, and then you can basically pick like all these rad shirts or even a mug or whatever, and you can actually hit this edit button if you want to make. I already got a comment from a BurgerFi ambassador. She was saying that she wanted to be able to make the logo a little bit smaller. You can just click that. Click the logo, and look at this. You can just make it as small as you want. You can move it around, just put it on one side of your chest or whatever you want to do. It's super simple. For the first, we got 2 weeks, so we got 13 days left. You get 15% off. I haven't marked these up at whatsoever, so like, what is this going for? This is going for $21.49, but then you get 15% off, so it's pretty darn cheap. So if you want to support the channel, that'd be pretty sweet. You could do that. If you have any more comments or questions though, or anything you want me to look up, or even if you have some research that you've done that you want to help contribute to the channel, and I'll try to turn something into a video if I think it's worth it or whatever, man, put it down in the comments. Just let me know. And if you haven't subscribed, please be sure and do it. It does help us out, and it will enter you into that contest. So thanks again, everybody. I hope you have a safe, great night. Bye-bye.